The Galactic Council had made one mistake. Just one. But it was the kind of mistake that echoed through star systems, the kind that rewrote history books and silenced crowded chambers. The kind that no species, in 4,000 years of recorded interstellar civilization, had ever survived making twice. They had attacked Earth. High Chancellor Zareth stood at the center of the Council's grand amphitheater on Vaelthos Prime, his four-fingered hands clasped behind the iridescent folds of his ceremonial robe. Around him, representatives of 47 species looked on, insectoid, gaseous, crystalline, and flesh-formed, all watching the holographic display that hung above the chamber floor like a dying star. It showed Earth's moon base. Or rather, what remained of it. 17 minutes ago, a hegemony strike fleet had reduced Lunar Station Meridian to ash and debris. A warning shot, Zareth had called it. A gentle reminder to humanity that the Galactic Council set the terms of interstellar expansion, not a species that had only achieved warp capability 32 years ago. They will understand their place now, Zareth said, his voice smooth and practiced, the tone of a leader accustomed to being obeyed. The humans are emotional, yes. Reactive. But they are not suicidal. The chamber murmured in agreement. Not one of them had thought to ask, what happens if the humans don't react with fear? Admiral Darian Voss received the news of Lunar Station Meridian's destruction while standing on the bridge of the UES Thermopylae, a Titan-class warship currently running silent drills in the Kuiper Belt. The message came through on a priority channel, encrypted, brief, brutal. Meridian gone. 4,400 dead. Council claims responsibility. Awaiting orders. Voss read it twice. Then he set the datapad down on the console with a calm that his crew found more unsettling than any outburst could have been. He was a tall man, weathered by decades of deep space command, his dark hair shot through with silver, his face carrying the particular stillness of someone who had long ago made peace with the idea that some days required terrible decisions. He had grown up reading about every war humanity had ever fought. Every ambush. Every atrocity. Every moment when a people had been pushed to the edge of annihilation and chose, somehow, to push back. He had always believed those stories were about something essential in the human character. He was about to prove it. Communications, he said quietly. Get me every fleet commander in the system. And patch me through to Geneva Command. Sir, his comms officer said, the Council has already broadcast a formal statement. They're calling it a disciplinary measure. They expect a response within 72 hours, a formal apology and withdrawal from the Kepler expansion zones. Voss looked out through the forward viewport at the black between stars. They'll get a response, he said. Just not the one they're expecting. What the Council did not understand, what 47 species had collectively failed to model in their threat assessments, was the specific and dangerous relationship humanity had with loss. Other species grieved and retreated. The Vaelthosi calculated odds and surrendered when the math turned unfavorable. The Korath collective filed protests. The crystalline Cerati simply went dormant, waiting centuries for conditions to improve. Humans did something different. Humans got angry. And then they got organized. Within 6 hours of Meridian's destruction, every major space-capable nation on Earth had placed its fleets under unified command. Political rivals who had not spoken in years were on secure calls together. Resource allocation that typically took months of negotiation was settled in hours. The orbital shipyards went to continuous operation, triple shifts, no downtime, every fabricator running hot. Humanity, it turned out, was extraordinarily good at war. Not because they loved it, though some did, but because they had practiced it, in one form or another, for their entire recorded history. They had refined it, theorized it, mourned it, and prepared for it even during peacetime, almost compulsively, as though some deep evolutionary voice kept whispering, "It will come again, be ready." They were ready. Admiral Voss's fleet crossed into Council-recognized space 11 days after Meridian's destruction. Not a single ship. Not a diplomatic vessel flying a white flag. 42 warships in tight formation, destroyers, carriers, the massive silhouette of the Thermopylae at the center, running with full sensor arrays active, weapons armed, shields at operational capacity. Behind them, 2 more fleets were already moving into position along alternate approach vectors. The Council's border patrol, 3 light cruisers of Valthosi design, built for customs enforcement and minor deterrence, hailed them immediately. Human vessels, you are in violation of Council Space Boundary Accord, Article 9. Reduce speed and prepare to be boarded for. This is Admiral Darian Voss, United Earth Space Command. His voice was even. Almost pleasant. We are not here to be boarded. We are here to deliver a message to High Chancellor Zareth directly. Stand aside. A pause. Then, Admiral, you do not have authority to. 42 ships, Voss said. And that's just what you can see. Stand aside. They stood aside. The message Voss delivered to Valthos Prime was not transmitted through a diplomat or a data stream. He broadcast it open channel, unencrypted, to every frequency the Council monitored, which meant every species in the hegemony heard it simultaneously, in real time, as it happened. High Chancellor Zareth, Voss said, his fleet holding position just outside the orbital defense perimeter of Valthos Prime, close enough to make every scanner in the system scream. 4,400 humans died on Lunar Station Meridian. They were scientists, engineers, dock workers. 2 of them were children, visiting with a school group. In the council chamber, Zareth had gone very still. You called it a disciplinary measure. Voss's voice didn't rise. It didn't need to. We're calling it a reason. The holographic display in the chamber updated. The Council's long-range sensors were showing something that their analysts were struggling to process, not just Voss's fleet at their doorstep, but 2 additional human formations emerging from dark space concealment along the hegemony's outer rim. Jump capable. Armed. Waiting. Here are humanity's terms, Voss continued. The Council will issue a formal acknowledgement of the attack on Meridian. Reparations will be negotiated through a process that includes human representatives as equals, not as junior members, not as provisional associates. The Kepler expansion zones will be recognized as human sovereign territory under interstellar law. And the commanders who ordered the Meridian strike will be remanded for trial. Zareth found his voice. You have 3 fleets. We have 47 member species. The combined hegemony military dwarfs your entire. Chancellor. Voss's tone shifted slightly. Something colder came into it. We've been at war, on and off, for 10,000 years. We've been nuked, gassed, firebombed, and occupied. We have lost cities. We have lost entire generations. And every single time, we came back. We rebuilt. We remembered. A pause. We are very, very good at this. I strongly suggest you consider whether you want to find out how good. Silence in the chamber. Not the comfortable silence of a council accustomed to deliberation. The silence of 47 species doing rapid, panicked threat reassessment. The negotiations lasted 6 weeks. The council agreed to all terms within the first 3 days. The remaining 5 weeks were spent on the details that Voss's team methodically, exhaustively worked through, refusing to accept vague language or exit clauses. Humanity had not come this far to be tricked by fine print. When the Meridian Accord was signed, Zareth looked across the negotiating table at Voss and said, quietly, and not for the record, we genuinely believed you would apologize. Voss looked at him for a moment. I know, he said. That was your second mistake. What was the first? Voss picked up his copy of the Accord and stood. Thinking that killing our people would make us smaller, he said. It never has. It just reminds us what we're fighting for. He walked out of the chamber and into the light of a foreign sun, and behind him, 47 species began, very quietly, to revise everything they thought they knew about the species from the small blue world at the edge of the Orion Arm. Humanity had arrived. And the galaxy, slowly, reluctantly, with no small amount of unease, made room. Because humans don't break under pressure. They compress. And then they detonate.